podcast. Check it out.
The Helldiver Experience. Dive by day, Helldiver podcast by night. All day. Boop. So, things should be recording now. Hopefully we don't do an entire podcast and none of it records, because that would be super lame.
Disappointing. Disappointing. What's up? Okay.
I'm just going to turn my lasers off too. If you could turn your lasers off on both of your hands. Right, and go ahead and just position the mic right up to your mouth. So,
close enough.
I guess we're live.
Well, hello. And I guess, well, I mean, you're the host, so you would start, right?
No, just feel free to introduce yourself.
Okay. So I actually, before, are we actually recording right now? Are you? Oh, okay.
We can always edit out anything.
Yeah, just the beginning. So like, am I introducing myself with like my name, like, or just like Snow Mexican?
So
like,
that's pretty much up to you. What I was thinking is like, for example, myself, like, hello everyone, my name's Angel, or otherwise known as V343. If you feel like adding in your last name is necessary, you could be like, oh, I'm Angel Cruz, otherwise known as V343, aka Super Earth's Finest.
Super Earth's Finest. So is this a Helldiver? I mean, I guess it is Helldiver themed based off the fact that.
No. Don't worry about that. You are you. We're trying to know who is the diver under the helmet. I may still be in character here and there, but for the most part, I'm just going to be myself as well.
Sure. Okay. Well, my name's Roger, otherwise known as Snow Mexican. I don't know. I like motorcycles. I'm play too many video games.
No, we all.
And no, I mean, I like working on cars. I was a mechanic for a while and currently work in insurance. So yeah, I've had certainly some interesting. I've had some interesting stories throughout all that too. So, but yeah, that's pretty much sums up what I do. And
Okay, so how did you go from working on cars to insurance?
that was through a friend. I was working, like I said, I was working as a mechanic. He'd gotten a job as insurance as a claims adjuster, and had offered me. They said they were looking for people with sort of that background of like mechanical knowledge and computer skills, and I kind of fit that bill. Bilingual too, but where I work, and I kind of fit that bill. So they. So I applied, and with his reference that I got in, and they trained me, and it was certainly different, but the work from home was during COVID, so like the work from home was pretty important, especially like cause like
Right.
I was living with my mom at the time. She's older, so it was sort of kind of one of those things. It was like not that she was at risk, but my dad had already passed away at that point, so it was like, kind of sucked to lose another one to COVID. But yeah.
Well,
So yeah, so that was kind of how that started. But yeah, and then I just kind of stuck, and then I yeah, I mean, it kind of stuck. I ended up actually going back to mechanics after about a year or 2 years, like when COVID died down, and they got what you call it, the vaccine and stuff like that. I actually went back because I was because the place that I had originally started working at was kind of extremely stressful. They were like, understaffed, and
Right.
kind of the usual corporate thing. And then there was another offer at, just more. What I needed was the work from home again, and then that ended up bringing me to where I am now, which is a far more relaxed environment, and I don't feel like I'm being, not micromanaged and not scrutinized all the time. So it's pretty nice.
Well,
Yeah, I guess.
I'm assuming you're not going to be working in this forever. Like, what kind of plans do you have for your future career?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I mean, what I am right now, I mean, it pays pretty well. I don't know. I don't think I have really, I mean, I get paid pretty well. I got a good pension. I get stock options. Like, with my current level of education, I don't think there's really too much, unless I want to like work like up north or something as a mechanic again or something. I don't think there's really too far else to go, unless I wanted to go to school and get something else, which I mean, I've thought of like doing programming or something more computer related, but I don't know. It's, like I said, I'm comfortable right now.
So what, like cybersecurity or something?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Programming, like game dev, but I don't know. Game dev seems like one of those things where like the most of the jobs get shit on by a giant company and they stress out the asshole. I don't know, that kind of work environment is not exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and who can blame you? That's kind of feelings that I share, because my whole life I wanted to work on games too. And then as I grew up and saw how the industry was changing, it was kind of demoralizing. So that dream kind of died for me too.
Yeah, it seems to be just kind of the way it is. I mean, the corporate world is cold. Oh.
Yeah, that's fucking unfortunate.
But,
well, fuck the corporate world. We're not here for them. We're here for you. So how did you get an interest in motorcycles?
Well, that was actually probably started off with my dad. That was my dad was a character. So my dad would always tell me the stories of like when he was a kid, how he'd run from the cops. He had his brother, who also passed away actually recently, was well known within the city that he lived. Not a small city, but like at the time, like it was, whenever he was a kid. So what was that? It'd be like the 80s, I guess. Small, it was a different time. And his brother was like well known within like the city law enforcement because he worked on their cars. Like he would work on he was a mechanic as well. Like I come from like a family of mechanics. Like on my dad's side, like everybody's a mechanic. It's fucking wild. The only one that wasn't a mechanic was an engineer. Well, actually, no, it's true. There was the one brother that was a butcher. He was the oldest one, but I didn't really know him very well. Anyway, I'm spiraling. So my dad would always tell me of like the stories when he would run from the cops, like how he had this one story that he liked to tell, or I don't know if he'd like to tell it, but he told me it a few times. when he would. So they didn't have demerit points back in the day, in Quebec, and so he would end up spending like half his paycheck on tickets most of the time.
Good fucking Lord.
Oh yeah, no, like this guy, he had shaved down his handlebars on his motorcycle so he could fit down certain alleyways.
No way. No, your dad was the real deal.
Like that level of dedication. At one point he ran from the cops, and like it was like absolutely fucking pinned, but they knew who it was and they knew where he was going. They couldn't follow him. So they show up at my dad's brother's place, and all they can hear is the fucking pinging from the engine cooling down off the motorcycle. You know, like the ping, ping, ping of like the metal just cooling down. And so they're like, we know he's here. We can hear. No idea. I don't know. I don't know, George. Yeah. Fucking. Anyway, so the stories naturally made me, think about motorcycling, and like I got into it pretty hard, and I had my own, stupidities. But it's a different time. Like you can't. Like I've gotten my fair share of tickets, but like I've also almost lost my license twice. So there was one time that we got, well, I mean, I didn't get caught, but I was the one that was caught speeding. There was, when I'm being an idiot, I don't do it in cities. I don't do it near people. I do it like where if I hurt somebody, it's going to be myself. So there's this spot like north of the city that I live in that is pretty much just fields and farmers and shit. Like there's like it's forest and farmers and like curvy roads. Like it's the perfect place to be an idiot on a motorcycle, but it's also perfect because there's nobody there. There's like it's just animals and farms. Like the likelihood of hitting somebody is, I mean, when the fuck does somebody cross a road in a farmer field that isn't in a tractor? Like never. Anyway, so keep in mind this is kilometers an hour. But it's a 90 zone or might have been a 70. Was it like let's just say 90 kilometers an hour, so like basically like 60 it's a little bit less than 60, 55 miles an hour. 55 mile an hour zone. And I'm with a group of 4 other people, I think. It was 4 or 5.
Do you normally ride in a group?
Yeah, I've had a few, like I've done a lot of group rides. Normally, I mean, I'd say it's like 50-50 maybe. Like, I mean, it's not uncommon. Like it happens when it happens whenever there's people around. And so we're going and we're fucking punching it. We're doing probably like 180 on the low end, 190, 200. Like it's fucking hammer time. So we get clocked at some point, and I don't know when. And when I say I don't know when, the only thing I heard was so we've got comms. Like it's basically think of it like a 6-way phone call, but on a private sort of frequency, more like a walkie-talkie kind of thing, but it's all at the same time. They're called Senas or like Cardos. Those are like the big brands for those. But they're basically a walkie-talkie within distance, works off Bluetooth or your phone kind of thing. Like you can.
It's like built into your helmet.
Yeah. You've got the speakers in the helmet, and then you've got like the microphone kind of like in the front. And it's got, good noise cancellation for audio, for wind noise and stuff like that. And yeah, it's designed for that. It's designed for motorcycles to talk to each other within like large groups. And I mean, I don't need to go too much of that, but basically we're all talking to each other, and there's a few of us that aren't on the comm because they've got either a different brand or it's like it's incompatible or they don't have one or whatever. I get one of my friends that tells me, "Hey, there's a cop behind us with his lights on. I think he's trying to pull us over." But when I say he's behind us, I'm probably like this is like a straight spot with like a bunch of hills that go like up and down. And I'm probably like 3 kilometers ahead of the cop, and I can barely see the fucking lights that are on. Like, I don't know how fucking long, how fast we were going, but this guy, I could barely fucking see him. So anyway, I'm like, I don't really feel like losing my license. So I'm like, okay. Because I'm like, I'm sure he pinched me. Like, I'm in the front of the group. Like, whatever. Anyway, so he pulls over. He pulls over a bunch of them, and I'm far enough ahead that there's no way he's clipped my license plate. And I'm like, there's no way he clipped my license plate at all. Like, there's no way he's got that. So I'm just like, what's the point in me even staying? Like, I'm just gonna get caught for no reason, and I'm gonna lose my fucking license.
Right.
So I just fucking took off. Yeah, so I did that. And then, started, obviously the adrenaline sets in because now you're like, this is a felony. So I'm like, I start thinking, I'm like, okay. Like, I know this area fairly well. I mean, I probably don't have the area like, he probably knows the area better than I do, seeing as he works up here. And I'm like, okay, so what's my best bet? And I start thinking, I'm like, I've got a buddy that lives nearby on like a sort of he lives like on a dirt road that's like fucking way out in the fucking nowhere. I'm like, okay, I know how to get there. So I'm like, hopefully I can just get to his place. So I get to his place, and I stop, like, hide my bike kind of half decently. And I'm like, well, I guess I could just stay here for a while. Anyway, I call my buddy up and I'm like, hey, are you around your place? He's like, no, man, I'm actually close to where you live. And I was like, fuck. Anyway, but his mom was there. I didn't really explain the situation. I was like, do you mind if I just like hang out here for a while for no reason? And she was like,
bro, that's
sure,
an easy excuse. I came to visit my friend.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was here, but like chilling out here for like 3 hours for no reason. It's kind of sus. Anyway.
Yeah, sort of, kinda.
Anyway, so we waited there about 3 hours, and I wasn't the only one that took off. There was a guy that took off with me. And we stayed there for about 2 or 3 hours. Figure that was long enough for them to pretty much give up. And then we headed back home.
Any one of your people get caught?
No. I mean, the guys that stopped, he didn't clip, right? Like, he knew they were being idiots, but if he gives a ticket to them and then not to me for leaving, like, that's sending a fucking horrible message to all bikers everywhere. As in, like, don't stop for the cops and you'll be fine. Right?
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, like that's exactly how I thought of it. I was like, I doubt that they're going to get anything, because I was at the front of the group, which means that if he was chasing us and he caught somebody on a speed trap, if there was anybody that he caught, it was me. Right? But yeah, so I was like, like if I leave and they stay and they get a ticket, like. So anyway, he let them all off with a warning, told them, stop being an idiot. Because like I said, it is a good spot to do it. And then we're not the only ones. Like, we're not special. Like, people are fucking morons there. There was this one time when I was up there that absolutely fucking blew my mind. And I still think about it to this day. I was what I thought was hauling ass. Like I'm just driving, I'm doing the twisties. I'm by myself. Like I'm driving fast, but like very much within my capabilities. Just, faster than you would sort of want to be driving up there if you were being a responsible adult. And this fucking guy blows past me on his bike with his fucking girlfriend on the back, doing fucking God knows how fast. Like I was fucking standing still. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like I'm by myself, and like you've got the added extra weight and like uncertainness of like having somebody on the back. Like Jesus fucking Christ. Like this is just insane to me. But I mean, hey, if you're both comfortable and you're both, two consenting adults, fucking whatever.
Yeah, but when I see things like that, all I think about wonder is, did they scout the road ahead of time, or are they just sending it praying there isn't a bump or a pothole?
Well, most of the time people know those roads, right? When they're doing that, like they know what's coming up ahead. They know what the curves are. Like they have a good idea of what the roads are. My rule of thumb, which when I was doing those, I was going up there, was if you don't know the road ahead of you, the most I would ever do is about like 50% more than the speed limit. And then when I did know the road and I had passed it and I knew there was like, kind of nothing crazy. When they have like corners like max 45 kind of there, I'd like basically like if I'm doing double that, it's pretty easy. Like there's no problem. So that was kind of like my rule of thumb, like for roads I didn't really know. Which I mean might sound crazy to someone who's not sort of in that world, but like it's not that bad. Like it's really like you've got plenty of time to maneuver something kind of unexpected. Like for example, like the big thing there was like either dirt from something that crossed like a cow crossing, or like grass clippings from a field or something like that. Like that was a pretty common sort of obstruction. I'm using finger obstruction. Obstruction.
We'll go with it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's so I did that, and then I had the other one where I'm not even sure if the cop was chasing me on that one, but I fucking hauled ass, and this one was a little bit less of the. It was actually probably like the last time that I really sped while riding, but it was ended up kind of hauling ass throughout very populated area that I wasn't very happy about. But I had like 3 points left on my license at that point. And if I got pinched for anything, I was losing my license. So yeah, I currently have a license with almost no points on it. So there's, I mean, like isn't in the good way. Like I have no demerit in here. Like, I don't know if it works the same way in the States, but you have like having points is bad. So I have a license with almost no points on it currently. So
I don't know if we mentioned at the beginning, but you're Canadian. Not Mexican. So
yeah. Well, I did say Quebec, so that was snow Mexican. That's the. I guess we should have started with that, eh? Eh? Oh, hey there. So I'm a Canadian, eh? I come from the land down under. I mean, up over. Anyway.
So you can get points removed from your license? I thought those were like permanent.
So yeah, so it takes 2 years. They stay on your license. They stay on your record for 2 years, and then they.
So if you just keep fucking up, then it's a problem.
Well, you got 15, right? So I once got a speeding ticket that was worth like 7 points.
Holy fuck!
That's not even that bad. I had a colleague who got a speeding ticket for 17 points. I think it was.
But which, you said you lose it at like 15.
Yeah, so he lost his license.
God damn.
Yeah, lost his license. His insurance premium went up like to some absolutely obnoxious amount. Like he had a 2003 Malibu kind of thing, like a super fucking dad car, and his insurance premium was like $1,000 a month or something, like obnoxious.
Why would he even have insurance without a license?
Because he had to drive for work, so they gave him a special sort of provisionary kind of license, but his insurance was fucking just ridiculous.
That's criminal. But I mean, I can't imagine what they did to
Well,
get
it was
17
criminal.
points.
Oh, it was
What,
reckless
did they
driving.
drive a car bomb into a school?
No, it was reckless driving. It was, just driving way, 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 way faster than the limit kind of thing.
Well, like those people who like live stream swerving through traffic.
I don't know exactly the scenario that led to it. I didn't really go much further than, oh yeah, okay, sweet, you got a fucking crazy speeding ticket for doing. I don't remember what it was, but it was like triple the speed limit. It was a fairly low speed limit area, but it was like it was 150 kilometers an hour. And so like think 90 miles an hour in a 30 kind of idea.
That's scary almost.
Oh yeah, it's fucking absolutely fucking scary, and he deserved to lose his license. But like, I mean,
That's
I
like
deserve to
kid
lose my
stumbles onto
license.
the road. Next thing you know, you got red mist.
Yeah, I mean, a 50. The thing is a 50 zone can be very. There's a lot of areas that are 50 zones that are, I would like to say, really shouldn't be 50 zones kind of thing. Like there's nothing there.
I know
There's
what you mean.
It's like okay, it's a 50, but I feel like this is just a city complaining about people driving too fast in this area.
So what kind of bike do you have?
Well, I've had a few. I started off when I was a kid. Oh yeah, that was another thing. I've always had dirt bikes. My dad got me a dirt bike when I was a kid. I had an ATV, had another dirt bike, and then I bought my own stuff. I started off when I was a kid. I had a little CRF 50, so a little Honda 50cc 3-speed kind of pit bike kind of idea. Had tons of fun with that. I had an ATV, a little 880cc Suzuki. I don't remember what model, but 80cc, like 2-stroke. That thing had a lot of power for. I mean, 2-strokes are pretty crazy. And I broke my arm on that one. Story about that too.
Goodness.
There's a story there too. A lot of stories. I got that one was that was a 50. Then the other one must have been a 125. No, I don't think it was a 125.
I don't know much about this stuff. So what do the CCs mean? Like more is faster, but like in what sense?
It's cubic centimeters. It's the size of the end. It's the size of the cylinder. Like it's the size of the air displacement of the cylinder kind of idea. Right. So
okay.
more CCs, bigger cylinder, more air, more fuel, more bang, more power. It's not the be all end all of power, especially in motorcycles. Simply because the engine orientation can drastically change the performance of an engine. Like for example, that 80cc that I was talking about, that 80cc ATV, because it's a 2-stroke, peak horsepower was probably like twice that of the equivalent 4-stroke engine. Because a 2-stroke works inherently different. I mean, I don't know how much detail you want me to go into, but
I think I get the idea.
Yeah, basically, it's not the be all end all, but I'm just because that's how they differentiate the models, is they differentiate them by CC. So that's how the motorcycles work, kind of in that regard. I forget, like when I start talking about this stuff, I forget that not everybody knows it. It's kind of I just assume it's like, oh, this is super obvious and everybody knows this, but yeah.
Well, I'm kind of trying to play from the POV of the audience. So even if you're mentioning something that I know, I'm just going to ask anyway.
Yeah, no. It's fair. I mean, like I said, they're very solid points. I just, like I said, I don't think about it because it's, I've grown up with it. Like I know it. It's just right.
It's in your nature at this point, especially since you started so young.
Yeah,
I'm low-key jealous.
I looking back on it, I had a pretty good childhood. Definitely had some. Definitely had some fun
toys. I didn't.
Fair.
It's just your fascination with motorcycles, because like I love motorcycles. They're cool. They're beautiful. They're fun. But it's not that I don't trust myself. It's just I don't trust the people around me out there on the road. So I can't bring myself to buy one and actually enjoy myself out there.
That is a extremely fair point. That is not something that I will ever hold against anyone for having that opinion, because you're not wrong. It's incredibly dangerous, that for yourself and because of the people around you. At least for me, like, it's one of those things where like I trust myself, but the thing is like you don't know, like I've caved into peer pressure and done things that I probably shouldn't have done. Like I've had group rides. Again, there's another story, but I was getting, what was I saying? I initially was kind of going over which bikes I have. So let's just start with that.
You were talking about the 50cc, like what is it called? Pocket bike?
Well, it's not a pocket bike. Pocket bike is different. I said pit bike.
And then you said you went up to like 125.
Yeah, I had a 125. I don't know if it was a 125. I feel like it was smaller than that, but maybe it was just another 80. Maybe it was an 80 four-stroke. I feel like it wasn't a 125. I can't remember now, but regardless, it was a little Honda. And then I got that one. That one was a 5-speed. I had that one for a long time. And then I started getting my own stuff. So when I got my license for my bikes, I got a Kawasaki Vulcan 650S, like a cruiser. That was my first bike that I ever bought myself.
Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie, pull that up.
We don't have a Jamie.
We don't. Too bad.
There you go on.
It's true. We should have a. Are we able to do something like that? Like, no.
Let me show you. So you want to turn your laser back on, and then on the bottom right corner, you hit this little button to make it not full screen, and then you can search in the search bar down here.
So Vulcan.
I don't know why I thought Vulcan was spelled with a K.
I don't know.
Then you hit the little blue search. Damn, I thought I deleted that stupid little sound. Oh well. Yeah, once it pulls up results, you can hit play and then you can make it full screen again.
I mean, I don't really want to play. I just want a picture. Is that an option or?
I mean, you could play it and then immediately pause it.
Why the Kawasaki 650 Vulcan sucks. I hate everything. I mean, admittedly, I know what he's going to talk about. He's going to talk about the seat being uncomfortable. I mean, mainly it's going to be that, and the foot position, and maybe I don't know where this guy's coming from. If he's coming from a cruiser perspective or he's coming from a sport bike perspective, the bike has its problems. But as a starter bike and for a cruiser. So my thing was, what I originally wanted was, here, let's see if we can get a good picture of it. Well, anyway, I don't know.
That looks like some B-roll.
Yeah, it's definitely some B-roll. I think I'm still in. Hang on, yeah, I'm still in the Discord. Give me a second. Hang on. Sorry, I'm still in Discord. Give me a second. I'm going to quit that. Yeah, Arctic, I'll be there in a second. I mean, I'm going to be there. I'll be back in a while. I'm in the VR thing. So yeah. Yeah.
Give us a second, everybody.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. We'll
you're
clip
good.
that out. We'll get that in post. Yeah. So is it a way to just get like pictures? So like does it have to be YouTube, or is there a way to get like?
Well, if you want to pull up a like an actual picture, you would have to have a web browser open on your computer so you can search stuff up there and then copy paste them into here. This is just a YouTube video player. It's not a web browser.
Right. All right. Well, anyway.
But yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so that was my first motorcycle. Was a Vulcan 650. You can kind of get that's the tank. There we go.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, that was my first motorcycle.
Ears.
That was my first motorcycle. That was so yeah, nice bike. Decently powerful. Nothing crazy. I originally wanted an Indian Scout, but that was half the price. So when I walked into the dealer and they said $8,000, I went, "Fuck yeah, thank you. Moving on." And I bought it, and I just walked out with it.
Like brand new?
Brand spanking new. Yep, brand new.
Nice.
Yep. So I bought that. I had it for 2-3 years. Then I swapped it out for an MT-09, Yamaha MT-09, which that is my current bike, which I currently have. Which this bike is
For how many years?
I've had it it's a 2019, so 5 years.
You missed the old bike though?
Not really. MT-09. It's a bit of a different vibe. So that's my current motorcycle. Well, this guy's got a different headlight. It's custom, and this is the 2024 version. So this actually, the body style is a bit different than what I have, but the front fork and everything, and the body and the frame is all the same. The dash is different, but anyway, this is the newer model. But that's the bike I have currently. It's a fucking wheelie machine. That thing will.
It looks like it.
Pick the front wheel up like it is weightless. Actually, that's not true. My next motorcycle that I got after that is actually. I currently have two. I have two motorcycles. So I have that. That's the one that I've done most of my felonies on.
Jamie, cut that out.
Cut that. Yeah. And then I have a Yamaha YZF 450. That's a dirt bike, and that is a monster. It's got about half the power of the MT-09, but it's all down low, which is means it makes all like a ton of its power just like very low. It's geared very low, so it's incredibly torquey. And it is probably the thing that has tried to actively kill me the most in my life. Like I'm pretty sure that bike is actively trying to kill its rider.
Automaton spy.
Oh man, you have no idea. This thing is, it is an absolute fucking thrill to ride, but it is a danger to everyone who rides it. Anyway.
I was going to ask, did you prefer riding on the dirt?
Oh, it's a completely different thing. It's fun for sure. I actually injured my leg really bad on that thing. I took a jump and the bike landed on me. So
How did it land on you?
well, you see, you go up the bike, you take the jump wrong, and bike ends up above you, and then it ends up on top of you. It ended up landing on my leg, and I think I like destroyed some like fucking like fascia tissue on my leg because there was like a chunk missing out of my leg, what I thought was bone, but it was fascia tissue, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it was fun times. Anyway.
Wow. Yeah, your definition of fun's a little different from mine.
I mean, hey, look, when you're on the corner of Fuck Around Boulevard and Find Out Street, it's you fuck around and you fucking find out. Like, and that day was my find out. So, anyway,
yeah, my dad got fucked up on a dirt bike, like really bad, because we're talking Florida, so we have what is it called? I think it's called like alligator grass or something, or sawgrass. The point is, it's really long blades of grass that are razor fucking sharp and like barbed on the edges. And he flew off his dirt bike and just landed in a whole bunch of that shit, head to toe, just eviscerated. So, suffice to say, I was never allowed to get a dirt bike.
That sounds
as much as I wanted one.
Absolutely awful.
Yeah, he was bandages head to toe. It was horrifying.
Yeah,
but he looks fine now.
Yeah, that's certainly a thing. I mean, we don't have that. We just have snow. And ice. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, ice can be a little scary, TBH.
I mean, yeah, definitely. If you don't know it's there, that's definitely a bad one. Anyway, so that's my motorcycles. I have that story that I was saying when I was 3 that I broke my arm. That was a good one.
Like you're doing now?
No, these are my wrists. Okay.
Oh, yours is flexible. What the fuck? We got a steeled veteran over here. You hide those prosthetics well.
Right. So that one was one my dad I broke my arm, and my dad was like, "Hey, like, don't tell the doctor that you were riding a dirt bike or a four wheeler at 3 years old." And like, probably not a good idea. So go to the hospital, and doctor, obviously the first question he asked was, "So how did you break your arm?" And I clam up and don't know what to tell him, so I don't say anything. And doctor goes, "Can you like gets me to leave the room?" Starts talking to my parents. Parents are like, "Yeah, so he's got a motorcycle, or not a motorcycle, an ATV, and he broke his arm, and I told him not to do it." And then, like, kind of explains the situation. And then the doctor talks to me and goes, "So I hear you have an ATV." And then obviously I'm like, "Oh yeah, like I was doing this and I rolled over and I hurt myself." And,
now there's no problem.
Yeah, well now there's no problem. But when it was fucking my dad, potentially beating a child, there was a bit of an issue.
That comes.
But
not the dynamic I was expecting you two had.
Yeah. So that was fun times. But yeah, that's my thing with motorcycles, and I think that's pretty much sums up most of my stuff. I've had a few group rides where people have gotten, big group rides where they're like, "Oh, hey, it's anyone who's doing 180 or less should stay at the back for people who are being slower. That's a bit of a should be a hint as to what kind of ride it was. And then when that same group stops in the middle of a highway and blocks off an entire highway to have a fight because somebody cut someone else off.
Oh my God.
That was interesting. Yeah, we blocked off an entire expressway for like, I don't know, it was like 5 minutes or something. It wasn't long, but long enough. Yeah. Yeah, certainly attracts a certain kind of person. Yeah. Pretty much that.
Why can't we all just be friends?
Well, when you cut someone off and almost kill them, tempers flare. And I mean, I get it. I don't know the exact details of that altercation because I wasn't, like, I was there, but I just wanted us to get moving so that the fucking cops wouldn't get called and people would start getting arrested. Right. Logically. Yeah.
God damn, can't have nothing nice. Somebody's always got to ruin it for everyone.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty much that. We've got as far as that goes, most of that stuff was about in like back of the hydro fields and the hydro lines. My motorcycle riding stuff was in the back of my house. We lived by some hydro lines.
What are hydro lines?
Oh, they're electrical lines, like high tension lines. But because in Quebec, 90% of our electricity is produced by hydroelectricity, because we have so many bodies of water, it's just convenient. We just call our electric companies hydro, like, because the name of the biggest supply, well, really the only government regulated supplier of electricity is Hydro-Quebec, because they do hydroelectricity, obviously. But yeah.
Via like what, dams or something?
Yeah, that's how they do. Well, I mean, I guess there are different kinds of hydroelectricity, but yeah, the primary one, or well, the only one in Quebec at least is dammed, like dammed hydro. Yeah.
So, were you a menace in school?
Oh yeah. I had the fire department called on me. I had neighbors threaten to call cops. I've had I mean, more story time. So me and my best friend, who, like, this guy, we've done so much dumb shit together. Like, it is frankly frightening. My sister has a friend that came from that. Like, she I have some family in Austria, and when she went there, she met some of the people in the same village as the family and like made some friends. One of them wanted to come to Canada for visit, so they stayed at our place, and she was there for like a week or two. And my friend comes over with some old like Winnebago interior that he had like stripped out, and he was like, "Hey, you want to make a fire?" So me being me, go, "Yeah, let's make a fire." And
how old were you?
Oh, old enough to know I'm retarded. I don't know. This was like end of high school, so what, 16, 17?
Yeah, old enough.
Yeah, old enough to know I'm retarded. So I use far too much gasoline. I don't know exactly how much because it didn't matter. But enough gasoline that I poured it on the fucking shit, piled all the fucking panels on top of it, and then drew a line of gasoline from where the fire was starting to where I wanted to light it, because I wanted to be nowhere fucking close to that shit. So we drew the line of gasoline, light the fire, watch it fucking burn through the grass, snake through the fucking grass, and set off what I had unintentionally turned into a fucking bomb.
No question. Where was the fire extinguisher?
Well, obviously nowhere to be found, because that would be logical. But hear me out. So, like I said, this was Winnebago interior, right? So this is all very large, thin, like panels, right? Like basically like sheets of very thin laminate wood.
Shrapnel, got it.
What happens? Well, not shrapnel, but we piled it all in like a triangle around it with a little like top piece that was like open, and enough place so the fire could snake in and set the middle of a giant fucking reservoir of gasoline that had been off gassing for, I don't know, probably 10 minutes at that point, before we had like fucking laid everything out and done everything properly, because we filled it with gas, piled everything on top, then drew a line out. Like, this gasoline had been off gassing for a while at this point. And we set it off, and it turns out when you confine explosive gases, it's a very large explosion. Loud enough that my neighbors from the other end of the street had gotten out of their houses and had congregated to try and figure out what had made that noise. And one of my neighbors, who was, may or may not have been aware of who I was and what I do, had made the trip down the hydro line over to my house, saw that there was a fire, and put two and two together and said, "Hey, you're probably going to want to put that out because the fire department is coming." So
okay.
I go, "Yeah,
Well,
that's
that's a good neighbor."
probably a good idea." So we grab the hose, right? The hose from we plug that in, hose down the fire, get it as off as much as we can, but it's billowing fucking just like smoke. It's dark, so it's hard to see because it's like nighttime, but it's a fucking column of fucking smoke. We put that out as much as we can, get it to stop smoking as much as we can at that point, and we go inside. We're like, okay, should be good. They'll never find us.
Obviously.
So we go inside, and then all I can think to myself is, I can smell smoke on me. If the fire department knocks on the door and they smell fucking Smokey the Bear up in this bitch, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, something's probably up." So I take a shower. While I'm in the shower, okay, and keep in mind, my sister's friend is here from Austria at this point. Okay, she doesn't know me. She's met my sister maybe once. She doesn't know us that well. And she's living at our house.
She does now.
And I tell them, "Hey, if the fire department fucking knocks on the door, don't say anything about the fire in the back."
Genius.
Anyway, so they knock on the door, obviously. And my friends start panicking and don't answer the door. And they're like, "Guys, they're in the backyard. They're walking around the fire. What do we do?" I'm like, "Dude, at this point, they've caught us fucking red-handed. Answer the fucking door. It's over. The shtick is over. We've been found." Anyway, so they talk to us and they're like, hey, like, we got a call about a loud bang. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. What do you mean?
Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that something? He's like, yeah, we found the fire pit in the back that's still smoking. Like, yeah, what about it? They're like, yeah, it's not okay as per the like city bylaws. You need to have a cage around it. I'm like, oh shucks, I didn't know this. What a surprise. I am shocked. And they're like, yeah.
That suburban volcano? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it's like, they're like, yeah, okay. I mean, you get a warning this time, but don't do that again. I'm like, yep, you got it. No problem. And then like 3 months later, we made like a giant fucking oil drum that was just billowing like the blackest fucking smoke you could imagine. Like, it was nighttime and I was worried people were going to see it because it made like black clouds in the sky. Clearly, I'm an environmentalist, okay? Like, I just want to point that out.
Of course.
Like black smoke that's so black that if you put your hand over the fire, your hand would be like oily. I mean,
what did you put in here? Hex
oil.
magic?
No, fucking motor oil. We were burning motor oil. Why? I don't fucking remember.
I think I heard something about that. How like explosions in real life aren't as big and smoky as they are in movies because they add like oil or something.
No, so explosions in the movies are gasoline. They set off. They basically have like a small explosive charge inside a tank, a container of gasoline, and the gasoline vaporizes and catches fire, and it makes it a big fiery explosion. Explosions in real life are still very large. They're just not as fireball-y.
You would know.
No, I've never done anything like that before. That would be illegal and not legal.
Yeah, that's why this was a totally fictional story. But
exactly. Allegedly.
Well, it depends who you ask. Put that on your resume. I'm sure High Command's going to appreciate that skill set.
Right. Issue me with some napalm resistant armor. For my own safety. I've made, you guys ever done, you guys, you ever done chlorine and milk bomb?
I don't think I've even heard of that.
Yeah, so chlorine reacts with the protein in milk to create a gas. You put that in like a 2-liter can of cola and you throw it outside because you don't want to be throwing that inside because it's chlorine. It creates, what I didn't know at the time is it actually creates chlorine gas, which is bad for you.
A wee bit.
Yeah. Anyway, it reacts with the protein in the milk and it creates gases. So it'll just blow up like a. It turned a when we got our mix right after extensive testing, it would turn a 2-liter like a 2-liter thing of Pepsi or cola, whatever, right? It was about, so assume it's like, oops. So this was like the thing of Pepsi, the normal size, okay? All right? Like the 2-liter, okay? It would shrink to about this wide, but like that tall. It would shrink to like half the width and just like stretch out like a fucking cucumber when it would explode, and there'd just be a giant fucking well, because it would expand. It would expand and explode, and you would just hear it was just an explosion, basically a small explosion. But neighbors threatened to call the cops because they were like, keep doing that and we're gonna fucking call the cops on you for blowing
keep up with that chemical warfare and we're gonna have a real problem.
Yeah, exactly. So that was me and my friend. And then we have multiple stories about stupid car shit as well. I almost
I
killed
mean, you
him.
were mentioning something about a demo derby.
So it's not a demo. Well, it's not a demolition derby so much. It's a race. A race. That is on a clay oval track. Where crashing into people is incentivized. So not
Damn,
a
you're
demolition.
encouraged.
Oh no, I mean it's encouraged. It's part of the game. So we were building. So what we got was one of for the first year we did it. He had gotten some extra. My friend had gotten some cars from a guy who had been doing that derby. Like this guy owned a ranch and had a bunch of like cars that he was just scrap cars that were kicking around. And he gave us 2 of them. And as long as we put his name on the cars, he let us just run them. Like he said, you prep them, you put my name on them, and you can have them. And then I keep scrap value for the car once at the end of the race. And we're like, fucking awesome. Like, yeah, absolutely. So we take the cars, prep them. You gotta take out all the glass of the vehicle. You have to strap down the battery and rip out all the insides. So basically anything that can catch fire in the car, you need to take out. Except for the driver's seat. The driver's seat's the only thing that can stay in the car that is technically flammable. Like only material. So then they you do that, take everything out, and then you can basically just run the car. They incentivize they incentivize putting in a roll cage by doubling the prize money if you have a roll cage. I'm gonna say that's
pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, wait, because when I tell you what a roll cage to them was, it's kind of sad. They really have they have absolutely no quality control on that. Like, we tried to make a roll cage one year because we were like, fuck it, we'll do it. But what we had was a cage that was welded to the floor of the car. So like not a structural component whatsoever. It was a square in the back. It was welded to the fucking bottom of the floor of the car and shit welded to the back at like a 90. Like, it was a really fucking horrible design. But hey, they were like, yeah, good enough. Here you go. Like, here's the double prize money if you win. I mean, we didn't win, so it didn't fucking matter. But, but yeah. So, that was the other thing is you need to take out the windshield and put a cage like a grill, like a basically expanded metal, like I don't know, like like braided metal they have sometimes, like for flooring sometimes, kind of idea.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, if you Jamie, pull that up. Pull up expanded metal. It's Can you add that in post, by the way? Could you, like, in theory, like, add pictures of that stuff, like, after?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
See, ideally, I would like to have somebody there just copy pasting the results of Google Images and just putting them here in front of us. But doing that in VR is kind of cumbersome. I'd rather somebody on desktop Resonite do that.
Right.
For later.
Yeah, for later. Yeah, so we did that. So the first year we got 2 cars from them, an old Impala and I don't remember what the other one was, but it didn't really matter. We prepped one of them, got that one ready, and then we're like, yeah, let's fucking take this out for a ride and see if it works. Because, I mean, whatever. So we take the car, we drive it out in the back of the hydro lines. Keep in mind that these roads are difficult to navigate with a dirt bike. Okay, like there's certain spots that are like extremely rocky. and like difficult to navigate. We're in an old like 1990s Impala. Okay, this is not a car to be driving off road at all. Like, this car has absolutely no business being where we brought it. We drive it, and we're driving along, banging across the fucking rocks, and just like fucking thump or thump or thump, bang. Did we just destroy it? No, we're good. Keep going. Eventually, we make it past the bad spot, the spot that's like really rocky, and we get into the farmer fields. And keep in mind, like I said, we've taken everything out except for the driver's seat. So my buddy is in the car with me with not a seatbelt. This motherfucker doesn't even have a seat.
I'm assuming he's just hanging on for dear life in there.
Oh yeah, no, it's 100%. It's 100%. You got one hand on the tunnel, on the transmission, like the transmission cover, like not the cover, but like the tube that kind of runs down for the transmission. You got your one hand there, and you've got one hand fucking gripping onto dear fucking life on the fucking handrest, on the handhold. You're like this, like you're like fucking, you're sitting like this, like your hand is literally here because your ass is lower than your fucking hand. That's where you're sitting, and you've got this hand as high up as you can, fucking grabbing on for dear fucking life. Like that's it, and your fucking feet are fucking planted against the fucking firewall of the car. So anyway, so he's hanging on for dear life while we're fucking bonking around this fucking place. When we get to the farmer fields. Now, keep in mind, I've been in these hydro lines 100 million times in my life. Like, I know this place. Like, I've been here. I know it. The thing is, farmers' fields have a tendency to need irrigation. Generally, when they do irrigation, they dig ditches for water to pass through. And the thing is that these paths, I mention them because they're very flat. They're very nice. You can get up to a good speed going on them. Like, they're very even. They're not rocky. They're great. So we start fucking hauling ass down one of these paths that I have been down 100 times in my life. But that year, the farmer, in his infinite wisdom, decided that field, for some reason, needed water and built an irrigation ditch that I didn't know was there.
On the track?
Well, not on the track. No, not on the track. No, this isn't the track. This is a hydro line. This is like behind my house. We took this out like before the race because we were like, oh, like we fit this car up for everything. Like we want to just take it out. We were impatient. We're like, we got the hydro lines. Let's just take it out this. Yeah, a test run. Definitely not just us being retarded.
Or like a death race.
Yeah, something like that. So we're out in these farmers' fields and we are fucking hauling ass. Like, 70 kilometers an hour, 80 kilometers an hour, it's like, I don't know, 50 miles, 45 miles an hour. Like fucking fast for off-road in a car that should not be going off-road. Like Dukes of Hazzard level fucking dumbassery. And we hit this ditch. And man, when I tell you we hit this ditch, we fucking hit this ditch. We hit this ditch so fucking hard that the front of the car plowed into the gravel, like other side of the irrigation ditch, if you will. And it ripped out. So like the radiator in the front of the car. Well, some cars have a transmission cooler. So instead of just having radiator fluid going through there to cool the engine, you'll also have some oil that goes through there to cool the transmission. Both of those things got fucking, like the bottom half of them just got fucking ripped out of the car. Like just gone. Just like they were here and now they're like over there.
So we are now dumping coolant and transmission fluid into a farmer's field. I don't know if you're putting two and two together yet, but that is toxic chemicals into a place that grows food.
Yeah, but I'm still seeing this as the farmer's fault.
See, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm worried that, maybe somebody would think, oh, you shouldn't have been here. And, oh, you've contaminated my crops.
Because that's what I was wondering. Like, this was like dirt, but like it was a road, right?
Yeah, a road that specifically says, you're not allowed to be on it, and like that's no trespassing, and like.
Okay. See, now it's less the farmer's fault.
I don't know. See, like I don't see that. It's still. I'm just kidding.
Well, to be fair, you said you've been down this road before, right? And that wasn't there. So how could you know?
It's all his fault. Exactly. See, now you're seeing now you're picking up what I'm putting down. Anyway, so we hit this thing crazy hard. Car's still running, but we're dumping coolant and transmission fluid fast. So we're like, you maybe need a little bit of like background knowledge as to how a car works for you to understand sort of the pressing situation of this matter. But automatic transmissions don't work without fluid. It's like an inherent property of how they work. The fluid isn't for lubrication, it's for the functionality of the transmission. It also is for lubrication, but it also, without transmission fluid, they do not operate.
Okay.
So we're like, it's now like, ticking. The clock is ticking. We're like, hey, we got to get the fuck out of here now. So we fucking just start hauling ass. We're fucking going back home. We're like, we got to get this car out of here. We are gonna if somebody catches us, like we just fucking dump toxic fluids into a farmer's field, like we're fucked. We start driving like as fast as we can, fucking thump, hitting these fucking giant fucking rocks as like with the bottom of the car is just getting absolutely fucking demolished by it's bottoming out on everything.
I feel like you might have glossed over the part where, how the fuck is your friend alive?
Oh, well, he's done worse to me, so we'll get to that later. He almost ripped my arm off, actually. Yeah, anyway, we'll get to that later. If you want to hear about it, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
So we're going. And man, this feels like I'm making this shit up. Like it's like
it's just wild.
Like I don't realize how obnoxious it is until I start telling it. So anyway, so we're like that, just going. We're hauling ass back home. And we're fucking hitting every fucking rock. Like it feels like we've hit every single fucking big rock on the way there. Because we're just like, we were on our way there, on our way to the farmer's fields, we were kind of taking our way slow, kind of, picking our path. Now we're like, we're pressed for time. We got to fucking go. We got to make it back. We got about.
How is the car still running?
Well, because there's still fluid in the transmission. It's just, it doesn't loop. It doesn't loop. Because we ripped out the transmission fluid cooler, right, from the radiator. Like the radiator coolant doesn't matter that much because that's just going to overheat the engine. We don't really care about that so much. Like this engine's already fucked. We don't really care about the car that much. What we were going to do is, if we managed to get it home, what we were going to do was we were going to this wasn't in our minds yet, but we were going to maybe get a new radiator and then just loop the transmission cooler lines together so that they just aren't leaking everywhere. And we were going to fill it with transmission fluid and fucking ship it for the race because it would last long enough for the race. It wouldn't matter. Anyway,
we're making our way back, hitting every fucking rock on the way there.
Anyway, nothing happened, obviously. I forgot to turn my lasers off. We're totally just picking up this conversation exactly where we left off.
Oh, fuck.
Which was 5 seconds ago.
Yeah. The legs are totally fucking retarded.
Oh, your feet are fine.
Oh.
That
cool.
didn't happen with Arctic. I had to fix his feet like several times.
Just makes sense. His body position makes sense.
I mean, yeah, you look being chilling to me.
Sweet.
You look like you're maxing or relaxing.
I'm relaxing, shooting some.
I don't remember how long ago we actually started this recording.
No idea. Been probably like about a month. Because we're just letting. Because we're just picking up where we left off, which was 5 seconds ago.
Oh, right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you were saying you were.
So where did it actually cut off last time? It was
It was getting pretty juicy. Let's just pick up with you finished crashing into the ditch.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
And you were on the way back, and your fluids were leaking all over the place.
Got it. So we hit this ditch, irrigation ditch that had no business being there, because farmer's field, fuck that. They don't need water. We start dumping transmission and coolant all over the place. Toxic fluids all over this farmer's field. It's great time. Totally not a worry in the world. It's fine. The plants. It's what the plants crave.
I think so. They got excited from the new flavor.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so we start making our way back. I don't remember if I explained this, but automatic transmissions need fluid to function, not just to be lubricated. It is for the actual functionality of it. So we're on a mega time crunch, not just because the engine's overheating now because it's dumping coolant, but because if the transmission runs out of fluid, it no more worky work. So we're bombing it back home as fast as we possibly can. And the the bumpy ass road that we had taken to get up here, well, it's not any better going backwards, actually, come to think of it. Crazy concept, I know. But we're making our way back. Thump, fucking hitting every fucking thing on the way back. Because we are we've thrown caution to the wind, and we are if we were crazy before, we are psychotic now. Did I just? Okay. Anyway, so we make it about halfway home, 3/4 maybe. And we fucking stall out. Like the engine, the transmission runs out of fluid, car's revving, but it's not going anywhere. So we're like, fuck, get stuck out here. We're waiting. We're like, okay, we got to get the fuck out of here because this is now evidence. So you start talking to my friend, and he's like, okay, I know a guy who's got a 4x4. He can probably come get us out. We'll just throw him some money and we'll, get that out of here. So we call him up. We call up his buddy. He's like, yeah, sure. Come over. We're like, oh, we'll throw you $100. Whatever. Just get us the fuck out of here. Guy shows up. Fucking. I don't remember if. I think he recognized me and was like, hey, aren't you, brother? And I'm like, oh, well, like she knew my sister. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, actually, I probably shouldn't say my sister's name. That was slip of the tongue. Can we get that in post?
Joel, bleep that out.
Yeah. So he's like, aren't you so and so's brother? And I was like, yeah. Why? He's like, oh yeah, she babysits my kids. And I'm like, she's more responsible than me. Anyway, so fucking small world. So anyway, he gets us out, tows us back to my place, and we finish that up. And that car never saw the Enduro, unfortunately, because we were never going to get that fixed up in a reasonable time frame. We were hoping we could just bypass the radiator and get that running, but it fucking never happened.
I think being alive is good enough.
No, we survived. Being alive is what happened. No. So that was that. Then we prepped the other car and got that ready for the Enduro. The next year, the car that I had caught fire with me in it. That was fun. And it was right before tech.
Yeah, I'm sure you had fire safety equipment.
Yeah. It's called not having an interior of the car. So nothing can catch fire except for you. You can't have fire retardant materials if you've got no materials.
This is true.
Yeah, no, I bypassed. So that year we were using a Pontiac Sunfire. And boy, did it live up to its name because it was on fire. We right before we took the vehicle to like the fuel pump failed, or not the fuel pump itself. It was some circuit, some like the fuel pump ignition circuit failed. So like when you turn the key on, your fuel pump's supposed to turn on, but it like once until it builds pressure, then it shuts off once the pressure's built and it knows it's holding that pressure. That circuit had failed somehow, and I didn't have time to diagnose it properly. So I just basically, for lack of better terms, completely bypassed that and basically made it so that the moment the key was turned on, the fuel pump was on max pressure all the time.
Oh my God.
As you can probably surmise, I mean, for what we were going to do, we're like, oh, it's a race. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be fucking pinned to the floor anyway. The fuel pump's going to be going max pressure anyway. Like it's got a return line.
Right.
Like it's designed to be able to function in that scenario, just not all the time. Right. So it was fine, but there was obviously something else wrong with it, because when I went to go into tech, which I was driving into the tech inspection, the fuel pump overflowed, started spitting fuel out, and set the back of the car on fire.
Shit.
Yeah, I turned that off pretty quick. Stamped it out with some towels and survived unscathed.
So prepared.
Did not have to spend 4 days in a bed. Because I burnt my leg, Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know, which none of the viewers know.
Nobody's gonna know. It doesn't matter. You're not in the in squad,
Well, real quick, hold that thought.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was that. That year I got into an accident in the in the Enduro. Actually, like I had a pretty
pretty big crash that took me out of the race. I got flipped around, like I got spun like 180, and I got hit by 3 different cars so hard
Oh my God.
that it ripped the half shaft out of the transmission. Like the whole wheel and the half shaft just she gone. Yeah,
You certainly take this in stride.
I ate the dash on that one. It was fun. It was great. I mean, I was bleeding, but it was great.
Well, that's the sign of a good time.
I was gonna say, did you really have a good time if you aren't bleeding?
You sort of glossed over this part that you totally didn't mention before, but where the first car, when you were on your way back, how you had that.
Oh,
you
yeah.
hit like every rock on the way
right,
out.
Right. Yeah. So we go back after getting the car to to my place, and we start walking our way back to kind of see, the carnage, and we realize that we've hit every single fucking rock on the way. And the thing is, the skid plate and the transmission of that car are made of aluminum. Aluminum's a pretty soft metal, and it had fucking marked every single fucking rock. You could have followed the aluminum trail back to my house. Like
the aluminum breadcrumbs.
It was so far from stealthy. It was ridiculous. It was. Fuck. That was funny.
Yeah, that's a strange sense of humor.
Oh, come on. That was hilarious. That's amazing. That's like, I mean, apart from the fact we probably poisoned a farmer's field, the rest of it was pretty great.
Yeah, cut that out.
Yeah, and the other stories we had, I had the one where my buddy, so that friend that I was with, he, I mean, you say he almost died, but I mean, like, it could have happened. I mean, he had no seatbelt or a seat, so
the possibility is there.
The possibility is there.
If he's a pussy.
The chance of dying in a car with no seat is low, but it's never zero. Wait.
I'm sure someone can make that work. That made sense to somebody.
But yeah, he the first time I met him, is like first like month of high school kind of thing. So, grade 7 for us in Canada. Fucking, I would come over to his place, and he's like, yeah, like I got this bike. You want to try it out? And I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Whatever. Fucking take the bicycle, drive it up this hill that he's got by his place. It's pretty tall hill, get up there, come back, come get bombing down, woo. He decides the fucking bright idea to fucking throw a goddamn 2x4 in front of me when like, this is going to be funny.
Bury this, you filthy casual.
Yeah, exactly. I did not parry it. I definitely got fucking launched over the fucking handlebars. Fucking penguin flapping fucking my other arms in front of me. Fucking land like pinkies fucking first into the ground.
How do you even manage that?
And broke both of my pinkies. Yeah, it's my pinkies are now no longer straight.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
it was that permanent damage.
I mean, they're not bad, but yeah, they're definitely not straight. So yeah, permanent damage. Yeah, it's a lot of damage. We've been best friends ever since.
Mine are a little crooked because of gaming. Holding down that shift key.
I mean, probably.
It's adaptation, even though people don't do that, like, or animals don't do that.
I'm evolving.
You're I'm a superior being. Yeah.
So when you got back up, did you break his pinkies?
No, actually, like I said, his parents fucking shit on him pretty hard for being an idiot. Which, I mean, fair enough. But yeah, like I said, best friends ever since. He almost ripped my arm off. We
remember he said best friend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We just, so my dad's snowmobile, in winter, we were towing, like, we decided we'd have some fun, like, towing a toboggan behind it, but, like, fucking extreme. I don't know if I can do, like, the
it's a toboggan.
Jamie, pull that up.
His name's Joel.
Joel, pull that up. It's a sled. Think like a sled, but like plastic, I guess. Anyway, well, no, the plastic toboggan, but close. Yes, that's similar.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Yeah, you see them all the time in like movies and stuff.
Yeah, kind of thing, but like not like that. Like they're plastic that's got like side stuff. Anyway, yeah, exactly, something exactly like that. Okay,
that's what I was picturing.
So that, except like
it looks like a sandal without the straps.
Yeah, I mean, you sitting there, whatever. So that's like a thick plastic toboggan. Like that's actually like a decent quality toboggan. We couldn't find any. So we got these fucking cheap, like millimeter thin fucking, like you grab the ends too hard and you're fucking slicing your hand open because they're so thin plastic. Piece of shit, fucking flimsy garbage, crazy carpet-esque toboggans, okay?
Bro, your toboggan sounds like the lid to a storage container.
Oh, dude, it's fucking it was cheapest piece of shit. We bought 5 of them because we knew we were going to destroy them. So to give you an idea, like you see what those ropes are on that? So we had initially, like those are the holes that are made for that, right? So we started off with the holes there when we were we were towing it behind a skidoo. So we're like fucking like yanking on it and fucking pulling each other and like swinging each other around. It's just like, you know, being idiots. We're doing it so hard and so like aggressively that it's ripping the strings through the fucking plastic. And we get to the point where we're like literally, we're drilling holes further and further and further and further into the toboggan until we get to about like halfway, and we're pulling the fucking thing from like the middle of the fucking toboggan, and then we're like, okay, time for the next one, you know? These fucking disposable toboggans, musical toboggans. We're fucking so. Anyway, so eventually we start fucking. We're like, okay, we can't do the fucking slow, like the jerkiness of it is fucking killing the toboggan. So we got to do something less aggressive. So instead, we just decide to go for pure fucking speed. So we start hauling ass like up and down this trail. I almost fucking shatter his spine because he fucking we get up. He actually reminded me of this. We actually talked about it the other day. We start hauling ass, and there's like this kind of spot where it like dips up. But on the skidoo, you know, the skidoo's got suspension. The skidoo just boop, boop, whatever. No big deal. The toboggan, man, this thing fucking dips down and fucking launches up into the air. The thing is, like, the launch itself is not so bad. The problem is the fucking spinal compression you get from doing this to this at 90 kilometers an hour.
90
kilometers an hour. So
Air Force pilots got nothing on that.
Oh yeah, no, like it was fucking like 87 G's to the lumbar. Anyway, so yeah, so like I almost shatter his spine. Then he decides that he has to get me back, so we fucking just haul ass. He fucking takes a corner, and I don't know, like I hit this thing weird, and like the toboggan goes sideways. I fall out, and my arms on the side or something, and I try to stop myself, but I clip a fucking root of a tree and stop from 70, 80 kilometers an hour, fucking dead, just full stop immediately. And when I tell you that like my arm killed for like 3 days, I'm not fucking exaggerating. Like I was pretty sure if I had any
tendons were reattaching.
Oh fuck, I don't know, but it fucking hurt. It was like that ended our day. Like, the spinal compression, that was, livable. The fucking arm thing, nah, fuck that. That ended our goddamn day right there.
God damn.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you actually lost that arm?
It's not reserved to me or my friend too. By the way, my dad was also a fucking crazy person. This is not something I told you. So when I was, I don't know, how old was I? Probably like 15,
what
14,
the fuck? Oops.
14, 15.
Yeah, go on.
So my dad liked his toys, right? So he had a boat, and we had a tube. Look up a banana tube, I guess. In Banan, we called it a banana, but it was like a yellow 3-person tube thing, but it wasn't like you didn't sit in it, you sat on it, and it was like 3 separate inflatable pontoons, if you will. If you look up inflatable banana, it's almost certainly not going to give you the right thing. But anyway, I don't know what we call it.
I'm still hung on the pontoon thing. What's a pontoon?
Pontoon's like a long cylinder that floats. It's like a cylinder. A floating cylinder is like a pontoon. Pontoon boat is because they have long cylinders that are under the boat that are filled with air.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like a pontoon, yeah. So it's like basically think like 3 cylinders that are like attached together, but you got 2 like where you put your feet at the bottom, like on your knees, and then you've got one that you're actually sitting on, like a bigger one. So like a big middle one, and then 2 small ones on each side. Anyways, my dad was a crazy person, and basically his whole goal was to make us fall off. Most of the time, it was just nonsense and like hilarious and whatever, and just like he would like spin us around, make a bunch of waves in the middle, and then fucking drive through it at full speed and try and fucking like crazy. It's pretty dope. This one time there was a fucking shipping container, like a shipping. Exactly, it's almost exactly that. I mean, it wasn't like the banana thing, but like basically exactly that without the banana-esque-ness of it.
Less banana, but definitely on the right track.
Yeah, less banana, but definitely on the like this one's trying to be a banana. The other one looked like a banana, but it wasn't trying to be a banana. Like it was the cool version of this, because it was a banana, but it wasn't trying to be a banana. Like it was content in its identity, right? It wasn't trying to be something else. So clearly, it was cooler. So like you can write this, but like "but cool" at the bottom, right? Like, Anyway, so my dad decides that it's a good idea to drive behind this fucking shipping container, this container ship, because like it's got like this thing is loaded, like it is fucking heavy, like they are like fully fucking loaded, and these waves in the back are, I'm not even fucking kidding. Like they must have been like 20, 30 feet tall. Like, I don't know. Like I'm 15 and I'm like, this is all memory. So it's like, I'm overplaying it probably.
Yeah, your sense of skills a little skewed.
They were fucking massive. Like I'm going to get into more details about it, but like they were enormous. So the first one, right?
it's this big fucking wave, go up, go down, and like nothing happened. I'm like, okay, that's easy, no problem, whatever. The second one was a different fucking story. So we go up, and then I lose the boat. And the boat just fucking, like, the boat is out of the water. Like, the fucking, like, this second wave was a fucking sheer goddamn cliff face. Like, the boat, I lose the propeller of the boat was out of the water. I lose the boat because like the rope of the tube goes into the wave and I can't see jack fucking shit. So it's up and then I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck just happened? And then up I'm over and I'm fucking flying and I'm falling and I'm falling and I'm falling and I'm falling and I fucking hit the ground. And dude, it was fucking terrifying.
Bro, you were at an episode of Deadliest Catch out there.
Bro, like, yeah, no. My dad was a fucking menace about that shit too. So it's probably genetic. Anyway, so yeah.
It's probably genetic.
So yeah, that was that. And yeah, I mean, I got more stuff for sure, but that was, I think that pretty much covers most of the extravagantness of my nonsense.
Well, all that being said, do you have a girlfriend?
Not currently. I did for a while. We were seeing each other I mean, for years, but didn't work out. So
I just feel like it's really hard for most girls to keep up with someone like you.
Yeah, I mean, I also...
You live in life to the fullest. It's hard to keep up with that.
I don't know. I mean, I also don't really try for it either. Like, it's not... Like, I've always been trying to get myself into a better spot. Like, right now, like, you know, like, it's kind of... Like with the new home and stuff like that, I'm trying to just get myself on my feet. Like I've got to had a bunch of repairs and stuff to do. Like I'm not in a space where like I can't, like I don't like having debts. I don't like having things that are like looming over my head. So I'm just trying to get myself into a better space before I start focusing on like that aspect. Like, you know, kind of work on yourself before you bring someone else into your thing, kind of thing. Yeah, no, I had a. So, kind of the current situation.
You're right.
But no, I mean, I mean, I had girlfriends that really enjoyed the nonsense. I mean, at least hearing about it. Very rarely part of it because the problem is
I can safely assume that both of us enjoy it.
I had one girlfriend who really liked being on the back of a motorcycle. That didn't last very long because well, yeah, I mean, it just didn't last very long. She was actually kind of insane.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Like maybe more. Like,
I don't even feel safe on one
the thing is,
myself.
Okay, like the thing is because the thing is, it should like, I easily cave to peer pressure in a lot of scenarios. So. Like I like making people laugh. I like making people happy, and maybe to a fault, kind of thing. Sometimes,
relatable.
So it's like that girlfriend that I had. She really liked fucking the psychoticness on a bike, and like to the point where like sometimes I felt confident in the moment, and then when you think about it later, you're like, I could have killed 2 people. Because that was beyond what I felt comfortable doing, but like it was okay. Like, you know, like I'd pop wheelies with her on the back kind of thing, right? And like I'm comfortable doing wheelies by myself. If I fuck up, I kill myself. If I fucking permanently injure somebody else, I'd never be like, yeah, she was okay with it, but the thing is you're putting faith in something like you don't know what people's capability are until they fuck up, right? And like.
I had there was one girlfriend that I had in high school where like I crashed with her on my scooter. Granted, it wasn't her fault. It wasn't my fault. Like it was just, well, I mean, I guess it was my fault, but like rain. So the thing about motorcycles is the lines in the road are, when I say slippery, it's not even a fucking, like, they're ice. They're literally ice in the rain. I didn't know that at the time, so I when I went to go take a corner with her on the back, because the weight's different, like you're not used to. So I had done this before, but just with me, but having her on the back, like it changes the dynamic of it a lot. And it was kind of like one of the first times that I'd had somebody in the back of my scooter. And this is like years ago. That was like I was 14, 15 at the time. I hit it and I wiped out with her on it. And man, I felt guilty. I mean, I still feel guilty about it. Like, like, and she was fine. It was a scrape and a bruise. Like it was nothing. Like we weren't even going fast. It was, yeah. I mean, it was a scrape and a bruise. I mean, she was wearing a helmet. We just weren't wearing like really protective gear, which I mean, we should have been, but it was raining. So we had like sweaters and stuff. And like I said, it was super low speed. Like we were taking a corner in the rain. Like I wasn't going fast. It's just, I didn't expect the fucking line to be ice. But I learned that fucking lesson and I never did that again. So, I guess best that way than any other way. But like, I still feel like I felt so bad about it. Like, it's okay. We were going to her place to get high anyway. So worked out. Forgot about it later anyway. So,
people always thought I was a pothead for the longest time, but I didn't actually start getting into that until I was like almost 25.
Yeah.
I just can't wrap my head around it. Like, what do you get out of it at that age?
Again, peer pressure. Mostly. I mean, I never really enjoyed it. I still I don't smoke to this day. Like I smoked, like I said, I smoked like maybe 5 times. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't.
You live in Canada.
Yeah, I mean it's totally legal. I've got a shop that's totally legal, like maybe 15 minutes from my place by walk. It's an SQDC. They've got like, it's totally legal. I could walk into that shop and buy whatever the fuck I wanted in terms of.
When was the last time you tried?
End of high school, 10 years ago.
Think about it. Holy.
12 years ago almost.
10,
probably.
12? Holy shit.
I'm
surprised you haven't tried it again as like a grown man.
I mean, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't like being out of my cognitive.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
I don't like not thinking. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I hate that I overthink things, but I don't like being. Thing? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'll be honest with you. It's just, it doesn't do it for me. Like if I'm with friends and it's like drinking for me has always been a social thing. Like I'll never drink unless I'm with friends or something. Like
drinking by yourself is pathetic.
No, but I mean like drinking at like drinking for anything other than to get tipsy, like is not like, or or to get inebriated, like is never like to be with friends or like something like, but it's never been something that I necessarily enjoy for the experience of what it is. I enjoy it because it makes me less reserved around people that I don't know and lets me be funnier. Lubricant. Yeah, but like that's the only reason I ever even enjoyed it was for that reason, right? And it's not because it's something that I enjoy necessarily. It's because I enjoy, for lack of a better word, I mean, pleasing is probably the wrong word, but like, I like making people around me laugh and like have a good time kind of thing. And like, I feel like that, at least at the time, I felt like that helped. Whereas now
Okay, so like you're more open to alcohol, but other substances don't really have that same effect. so you don't see a need to do them.
Not necessarily. It's just I'm not really in that same, like, alcohol was something I've had more of, but even then, like, I don't, like, my friend groups, that's not really a huge thing. So it's not like I don't feel like I would get nothing out of going to the, to the SQDC, getting some weed and smoking it. Like, that would do nothing for me. Like, I feel like I'd just be burning money.
Right.
Just like, whatever. And like I said, like, in a social scenario, sure, I'll do it. Like, whatever. If I get put in that situation, I have no problems with it. Like, it is what it is. If people want to do it around me, I don't really care. It is what it is. But for me, it's social lubricant more than anything else.
It just doesn't really do much for you, so it's not even worth it.
Kind of, sort of, I guess. I mean, like I said, I don't particularly enjoy, and like, I don't particularly enjoy the high itself. Like, there's nothing I really get out of it. Like, it's not like some people like the altered state of being, helps them, do whatever. Like, some people like, I mean, like, people that are like perpetually high, like, I feel like it's almost their normal state. They just like that state of being. And like, I've met people like that. I mean, plenty of times in my life. But
sometimes I wonder, it's like, what are they running from?
I don't think they're necessarily running from anything. I think they just like that. They just get to the point where it's not an addiction, but like kind of us with video games, right? Like we enjoy that sort of state of, doing something and not thinking about something else, right? And it's kind of, with them, it's getting high and doing whatever the fuck, right? They just like that like, it's a creature of habit at that point, and not necessarily an addiction per se, but a happy place, right? For lack of a better.
I was like addicted for years. Like, first time I got lit, it was terrifying. It was like that scene in the movie Get Out, where the hypnotist lady like puts this dude in a trance, and he goes into the sunken place where he's falling into an abyss, and he can still see out these little peepholes that are his eyes, no control of his body. And then like years go by and I tried again. Totally different story. But I was with like good friends in a good setting.
Mm-hmm. No, I 100% agree. I had a similar experience. Again, I don't know if this is something that we mentioned before because I don't remember what was said, but I had, so my first experience was with well, I don't know if that was my first experience, but it was one of my first experiences was with my girlfriend that had crashed on the scooter. It was her, it was me, a couple friends, and sitting around the campfire, and like just being chilling, and it was a great time. Like, it was great. And then, had a safe place to do it, whatever. And, then, the next time, one of the times I did it was with some friends, in like basically the middle of fucking nowhere, and like then we kind of all had to split up and I had to go home, and like I was driving my scooter high and it was fucking terrible. Like, I don't know, it was just like it was it was completely different. Like, I to drive home and I get home, I'm high as fuck, and then like I know like my dad's home and my uncle's home at the same time, and I'm like, fuck, I smell like weed. I know I smell like weed. And you're sitting there fucking super paranoid. I had a fucking can of Axe body spray in my scooter, and I fucking murdered myself with it. Got home, the I'm totally not high and they can't tell. Where were you? Studying or whatever. And
and I get there, I try to listen to a conversation, and I pass out. Like when I say I pass out, like I'm sitting in the couch, sitting on the couch like this, and I fall, and then I wake up, 3 or 4 hours later, like, what happened? I passed out.
Wait, God, you powered down.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like I had the fucking biggest fucking neck strain in my life.
Oh my God. I know that feeling whenever I fall asleep in the car and I'm just like a turkey in the rain.
Yeah.
It's his neck straight back.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's that. And yeah, and I mean, like I said, like I said, there's a few other times which were all sort of pretty okay, but like I said, it's nothing more than social lubricant and peer pressure to me.
Damn. So nothing too memorable.
Not as far as intoxication goes. Not really, no. Like I said, it's never really been a big part of.
Go on.
I was gonna say it's never really been a big part of my life. That I think.
I mean, for me at least, once I finally got peer pressured back into trying it again because I just kept hearing how much my friends were enjoying it because they were getting more into it as they grew older. Like a couple years grew by, and I'm just like thinking, man, what's wrong with these people? Like, I wouldn't wish that experience I had my first time on my worst enemies. And then here I am. I try it again. I have a good time, and I'm chasing that dragon for years. Every day, 24/7 for years. I'm getting litty like no one's business. I was called Chief Keef by my friends because nobody could keep up with how high I could get.
Jesus Christ.
But the thing is, I was like Kill Blood basically. And I guess as years went by, I was just thinking like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm literally okay with letting my life slip through my fingers. That is not me, or at the very least, is not who I want to be. So I've just gone cold turkey. And to be honest, I don't miss it because every time I would get high, I'm just crippled with anxiety anyway. So what am I even getting out of it? I just feel like a soldier in a foxhole every time. So why am I even putting myself through this?
Right.
It was a waste of time. It's behind me. I had my fun.
Yeah.
Now I like alcohol more.
Yeah.
And you can blame VR chat for that.
VR
Those
chat.
fucking degenerates. It's like necessary. Like you can't play VR chat without having booze within arm's reach. Ugh. It was pretty bad. At one point, I was getting fucked up. Like nobody could keep up with how much I was drinking. So the one time I actually like blacked out in VR, everyone was like super worried that I had died or something because they're like, V fucking passed out. You guys pushed her too hard. She never passes out. And then that made me really reflect. And I kind of haven't gone that hard since.
Pretty wild. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you don't have that issue. You're clearly the better man.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I not the getting drunk that much issue, but I was blackout drunk one time. My mom had to pick me up. I was
How did that happen?
Well, we were at a friend's place, and I was drinking alcohol that didn't really feel that strong, but it was gin. Gin does not burn on the way down, and I drank like way too much, and I had to work the next day. Anyway, so I get
no.
like I'm sitting there fucking puking all over my friend's fucking driveway, My mom ends up picking me up. She's like, yeah, get your, you know, you gotta put your head in so I can close the door. I'm like, I don't got no head. Anyway, so my mom brings me home, and then I have to get up the next day to go to work. That was a bad idea. I called my boss to tell him what had happened. Like, I was honest with him, and he was like, you're going to learn a lesson. You're going to come into work today. And I'm like, okay. I come into work, and I'm talking to one of my colleagues, and I feel like shit. Like, I am not feeling well. Like, I am hungover, probably still half drunk, like doing my air quotes job. And this customer comes by and asks a question. This customer in like white clothes, I remember she had white jeans.
Bro, that was an angel.
Well, just wait. So she starts asking questions, and I'm in the middle of answering her, and I fucking feel it coming, and I fucking like throw up, but I catch it in my mouth. Like, so I can't, like, I'm like throwing up, but like I catch the fucking throw up in my mouth, and I'm like, you know, it's like, you know, like she's cheeks out, fucking, but like just a little, but just a little fucking spurt of like vomit comes out from between my lips.
Oh no, fucking away, bro. Fuck that.
And I fucking sprint to the back store. Fucking throw up in the toilet, and I told my boss, like, yo, I just almost threw up on a customer, like I gotta go. He's like, hey, but you'll be back in an hour or 2 hours or whatever. And I'm like, okay. Like, go home, pass out, come back. Actually, I came back to my shift. I came back to my shift and finished my day. I never did that again.
Fucking word.
I never did that again.
Holy hell, that is fucking disgusting. You definitely learned that day.
Oh, it never happened again. It never happened again. My boss was not fucking having it. He was not happy about what I did. Like, he was not like it was a teaching moment. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's kind of a dick move to not give you the day to recover, but then again, if that's your first time going through that, then it was probably better that they put you through that.
Probably.
Because you did learn that day.
Oh, you gonna learn today. A core memory.
God,
Almost throwing up on somebody. I just remember. I didn't even realize that there was a little bit that came out until, and like my colleague mentioned it to me. He was like, dude, like there was I just watched you fucking just get sick, and just a little fucking baby fucking shot of vomit just boop, through, like, you know, like
no. God, that is so fucking nasty and vivid. Why'd you have to paint such a picture, dude? Holy. Yeah, damn. Well, never mind about that angel part. Holy.
That's why I said, just wait.
That's nasty. Well.
Anyway.
Whatever you had must have been good.
It wasn't. It was some old fucking alcohol that had been sitting in like a shelf that I had, like my parents' alcohol, my parents' liquor cabinet. It was not good. It was just alcohol.
Aged.
I was old. I was old. I was old. It was old. I was young. I was like
I mean, I was still in high school. Like it was like 17, something like that at the time. Like I was still working at at the grocery store. Like it was, so like, that was, I was less than 18. Fun times.
What's the
Fun
drinking age in Canada?
16.
Nah.
16? 18? 18? Maybe
You're
18.
capping.
No, 18. It must be
Okay,
18.
18 seems a little more understandable.
Well, the drinking age their drinking age in Germany is 16. Like,
yeah, but they're Nazis, bro. They don't know what they're doing.
or maybe they know exactly what they're doing.
While they're Nazis, they know exactly what they're doing.
I'll bet they did see that coming.
Yep.
All right, we're done here. We're done here. Joel cut the recording. Okay, well, moving past that comical atrocity, I don't even know if I'll be able to recover from that. Holy, I think I'm about to shoot a little throw up.
Little baby vomits, geyser.
Holy, good thing I got a cup because I'm about to hog to a.
Anyway, so yeah,
Okay,
so that's
wow.
I feel like I've got a story for everything now.
Yeah, I'd say so. Oh my God. I don't know if ending it on almost throwing up on someone's a good note or a terrible joke. By the way, I thought that was super funny. You were saying?
Honestly, you could chop it up if I can edit and post, make it so that
Yeah,
it's,
of course.
I'm sure that story fits in naturally just about anywhere.
Oh yeah, of course. You could put it anywhere in the pod. It'll fit real snug. It goes right in the square peg where it belongs. So, I honestly don't know where to go from there. I feel like you've painted a good picture as to what makes you such an...
What makes
what's the
me
word?
me?
What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here.
Entertaining, hilarious, a god.
You don't get to label yourself.
Oh,
Ale, you there?
Oh, sorry, no, I was looking at some other stuff.
This fucking guy. What do we pay you for?
To just restart my computer.
Also, I don't know if you're on Blue Mic. Doesn't matter. You're a
Nope,
valued
not.
member of any community you're a part of.
except for this one.
That much is certain. Except for this one. What do you mean?
We can't stroke his ego too much. He's Australian. He's had a history of oppression.
Sure.
We have to make sure that we
It's
can.
talking about you.
Yeah, talk about you.
Oh, me. I mean,
Oh,
yes. I mean, yeah, valued
yeah,
member.
except for this one.
Except for this one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I don't know. Do you have any more stories you want to share? Because I feel like you've covered quite a gambit.
I mean, there's always more. I don't know. I mean, we've established most of them. I think most of the ones that are I mean, there's everything from, Roman candle fights to murdering an entire generation of frogs. But
okay, keep rolling.
well, the entire generation of frogs one is a bit. I mean, I don't know if it's morbid, but I was. You remember that dirt bike I told you I had, like little 50cc CRF 50 that I had?
Oh yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, and we're talking like 5 years old, I live by those hydro lines, and there's one spot which has it's like a bit of a sort of bit lower down, and it always, when it rains, it always fills up with water, and it's a very it's a wetland marsh kind of area, and when that water dries out just enough that it's all muddy in the spring, you always end up with a metric fuckload of frogs there. And one year I managed to get in there at the time when they were all like just little froggies, but I'm a little kid and I'm like, oh, cool, frogs. So I gather up as many of them as I can. And I'm like, oh, I get a whole ginormous fistful. Like my hand is
full of frogs.
Fist full of frogs. And I go, I'm gonna go show my mom, I'm whatever, I'm like 6, 7, 8, whatever, how old I am.
Mom would love this.
My mom will love this. But the thing is, my mom would love that. Like, my mom, was, she would think it's cool, probably. Like, that's the kind of person that my mom is. Like, she was an archaeologist, a geologist. Archaeologist, the fuck am I saying? She was very much, she would think it's cool. So, I fucking grab a bunch of them, bring them back home. Thing is, riding a motorcycle with one hand is difficult for a lot of reasons. So what I'm doing is I'm holding on to one handlebar with one hand, and the other handlebar, I'm kind of resting on the handlebar, and I'm holding the frogs in this hand.
Oh my God.
Now, it doesn't take a genius to know that when you have hit a bump or whatever, you flex a little bit, you're holding a generation of frogs. I got home, they were all dead. Every single one of them. I opened my hand and there was no movement. I went, look, Mom, I got some frogs. And there was none left. They're just sleeping. They were tired. So yeah.
We're tired.
Tired of my shit is what they were tired of. Just like my mom. So yeah, that was murdering an entire generation of frogs. What was the other one that I mentioned? Roman candle fights. I mean, yeah. So that me and my friends. Nothing really crazy happened. I mean, we almost set fire to the forest, but we would, I'm sure everyone's had Roman candle fights. Like those fireworks that fire off in the just. So me and my friend, we had I would put welding helmets on. But the grinding masks, more not really welding. I mean, they had a setting for welding, but it was it was a welding mask, but it had a setting for grinding. So you could just have
I
it.
didn't
So
know
it's
you
just
needed a mask for grinding.
I mean, you do when you do it the way I do. I mean, wait, what? Sparks gonna fly. Anyway.
Hey, this guy's on a roll.
But yeah, so we had the masks on so that we didn't fucking blind each other. So smart, right? Not totally idiot.
That's probably the first smart thing you've said the whole pod.
Yeah, but wait, there's more.
Oh, brother.
so then, you know, we have those fireworks, the Roman candles, and we just fucking start fucking shooting them at each other on a day that had been quite warm. Well, not quite warm, but like it had been, you know, it was a drought apparently. Like we got in like drought warnings, like, oh, you know, don't use water or whatever because we're running low on water, and you know, I'm sure you get those too in Florida sometimes.
What is this, California, bro? I don't get that shit in Florida.
Oh, okay, I don't know, whatever. I mean, nobody ever really paid attention to them, and it's not like they ever did anything, but it was kind of one of those things where, like, if they saw you watering your lawn more than once a week, it was nothing that was ever enforced, but like they could have been enforced, you know. But anyway,
didn't you just get like all the water from the snow?
What?
Actually, like surrounded in ice.
What do you think Canada is?
Some kind of like frozen shithole.
I live 20 minutes. I live 20 minutes from the U.S. border.
So you're familiar with Niagara? That's plenty of water, right?
That is one spot in the longest land border in the world.
Where are the Great Lakes again?
Near me.
Do they connect to Canada?
Yeah, near where he lives.
The Great Lakes are mostly in Canada. Yeah, like the Great Lakes are
another
like
water source.
Yeah. Canada has like what? Pull up how many fucking lakes are in Canada.
The most lakes in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, Canada has the most lakes in the world.
So what's with the water problem?
I mean, there's still areas that get water from somewhere, and if the water level in that area is low, they go. Like I said, it wasn't ever anything that was enforced. It wasn't ever a really big deal. No one fucking ever paid attention to it, as far as I know. But I'm just saying,
yeah.
I'm trying to paint a picture that it was dry. And that we were having a Roman candle firefight in a forest that was dry. Doesn't take a genius to realize that we're being retarded. Anyway, we didn't set the whole building on. We didn't set the whole forest on fire, but we started a fire and put it out promptly. That's it. That's the Roman candle fight. We did that. Nothing really special about that one, but just us being idiots.
You are well acquainted with fire.
I love
You're
fire.
like best buds with fire.
I fucking love fire. Fire is the greatest invention we have ever come up with as a species.
Yep.
Electricity.
Unga bunga to that, brother.
Oh yeah, unga bunga is goddamn right. But yeah, anyway, I mean that's me in a nutshell, at least the way I do things. I think that's pretty much covers most of me.
You say that, and I do believe you to an extent, but like, for the viewers at home, the audio listeners, like, you are like a different person. So when I hear this, it's wild. I feel like if you keep telling more stories, people will just assume you're making shit up at this point because they're like, what is his life?
I mean, considering the fact that I've been alive for 30 years, I think those stories are not really that crazy. Like, I grew up around cars. I grew up around, like, my dad liked his toys. So I just had opportunities to do those things, which, is great. But like I said, I didn't drink much. So I had fun being an idiot.
Without alcohol to force you to do that.
I didn't need it.
Crazy.
I'm an idiot enough as it is. Like, I was that kid in high school that you would dare him to do something and he would do it. Like, pretty much no matter what it was. Because I thought it was funny.
The people pleaser aspect.
Kind of, sort of. I said, I mean, that
But
was,
you
that was one.
definitely got some fun out of it.
Oh no, I mean, I fucking loved it. It was great. Like, I'm glad I'm alive. Is like I said, I mean, I've done my own thing. Like I've hurt myself doing that too. You know, like I said, I've had that accident with the dirt bike. That like could have ended a lot worse, and I'm lucky it didn't. You know, I mean, like my friend. I mean, there's many instances in that where we could have gotten seriously injured, but didn't. Luckily, and you know, like we did our stuff. We tried to be at least smart about it, but you know, when you're being an idiot, like shit's gonna happen. But we tried. We tried to at least have some level of non-retardedness in our retardedness. Like, you know, like when we did the Roman candle thing, like we knew it was dry. We brought water. We had the water to put it out. You know, I mean, we didn't have a ton, but we brought some stuff with us.
We brought a bottle or two.
Yeah. You know, when we lit the fucking RV siding bomb, you know, we did it from a distance.
Exactly what I was thinking.
We set it off at a distance.
No fire extinguisher in sight.
We had a hose that was not turned on.
Excuse me.
we were ready. Oh, there's also the one where I almost melted the fucking power lines under my house. Or over my house, rather.
Under your house? Oh.
Well, because I say under. So we have like I said, I've got the high tension lines like behind my house, and those are like, you know, fucking 100 feet up in the air, or whatever. Never gonna melt those. But we have I say under because it was the power lines for like the low tension power lines are under those. I said under because I was thinking about that, but they're not under my house. They're just normal like low tension power lines. That ran behind my house. Every year, me and my friend would get, like, you know, we'd gather up like people's old Christmas trees. You ever set a Christmas tree on fire after it's dry?
Yes.
That shit goes up real nice, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
You know what goes up even nicer than that? Those same Christmas trees doused in gasoline.
How does this guy come up with this stuff?
Well, you see,
Truly an artisan.
if something burns good on its own, it can only burn better with gasoline. More fire, more better.
Shit.
Oonga boonga.
Oonga boonga. I'm crying at this point.
I'm like brilliant minding this shit. Like, it all fits together. More fire, more better. Anyway, so we'd gather around all our fucking neighbors' trees, and you know, let them dry out in my backyard. And then once they were nice and dry, we would douse them in gas, stand them up, plant them in the ground, douse them in gasoline, set them on fire, and fucking mother of God, the fucking fire that would come off this thing. It was so fucking tall. Like, it was a flame taller than my house.
And how far from your house exactly?
Well, see, there was one year, it was far from my house, but it was so fucking tall that I was afraid that it was going to melt the fucking rubber on the power lines. And to this day, I don't think it did, but it fucking was probably not far off.
Your Honor, my client here is dead ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the years after that, we made sure that we didn't put it under the power lines. We just didn't think about it when we were doing it that year. So, yeah. Bunga bunga.
Wow.
Did I ever tell you about the time I tried
I
to
feel
put
like
out
I
a
could
fire with
learn
an
a thing or
open?
two.
I ever tell you about the time I tried to put out a fire with an open jerry can?
Bro, you have to be making shit up at this point. You have to be.
So this is another one when I was a bit younger. But I don't remember what it was. I think there was ants. I think we had ants that were like in like a garden that my mom had. Like we had this. My mom had like this garden that was like these raised kind of areas, and she would like have like a garden here, and there was like a walkway here, and there's a garden over here. Anyway, we had a bunch of ants in the in the walkway here, and like you would lift like these stones, and like the ants had all had their fucking nest in there, and I was like, I want to kill all these ants, fucking asshole. So I fucking
bully.
The fucking ant bully. So I fucking I take off a couple of these stones, and I fucking douse the fucking thing in fucking gasoline. Just fucking. Anyway, maybe a bit too much, and like I think the fumes caught fire. There was like a lot of fumes going, and so the fire gets kind of out of hand, and I'm like, oh no! I start panicking. Oh no! Big dumb idiot set fire to fucking things they probably shouldn't have set fire to. Fucking oh no! So I take this fucking jerry. I'm like, what do? Fire gets out if you stomp on it, right? So I'm gonna stomp on it, but it's fire. I don't want to stomp on it. That would be stupid. I set myself on fire. So I'm gonna take this jerry can that's like 80% filled with gas and fucking stomp it on the fire. The cap is open. The fucking front of the fucking gas tank catches fire, but gas isn't self-oxidizing. So it never catches the jerry can on fire like inside, but the front is just fucking billowing flames now, and I'm like, oh no! So anyway, I put it out like I just cover the front with my hand. Oh,
Got a little too excited there.
a little bit too excited, yeah. Oh God!
No way.
I was trying to. There you go. Am I in a good position?
Do you know how fucking lucky you are?
Well, hang on, wait. There's more. So I fucking put it out. Managed to put out the thing. Thing is what you don't know is that gas tank fucking leaked from that nozzle for 10 fucking years after that. We kept that fucking gas tank, and it would leak sometimes. So when you're pouring gas, it would just leak from the nozzle. My dad never knew why. Never found out. It was just the bad gas tank that we would, have like the shit gas for whatever fucking lawn we had. Never got a new one. I don't know. Dude, that thing just kicked around as a fucking memento for 10 fucking years. Probably still at that house. Yep. Good times. I survived.
Oh my goodness.
That's the real story here, is that I'm alive currently.
That's what I'm drawing from all this. You see, like, I've had my fair share of close calls, but you go out of your way to put yourself in these situations.
Well, no, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Shit, it all comes full circle. Damn, I gotta start seeing you in a different light. I gotta start looking at you for what you are, because, wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
What do you make of this nonsense? I don't think he's even there.
Nope. It's okay. He pulled up the banana. It's fine. He did his job. Anyways, I think we can end on that note.
I don't even know. I don't even know what note that is at this point.
F sharp. I don't know.
Man. Oh man, this guy. Oh no. I'm starting to feel physical pain. I was gonna say you might need therapy, but I think I need therapy after hearing this. I'm secondhand traumatized hearing your stories.
You're the lady that almost got puked on and has to go see therapy.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. When you brother, when you said that, I felt like my mouth was open and a little bit of that vomit went into me. Oh my God. I'm losing viewers right now. People are turning the fucking podcast off, hearing me talk about that shit. Okay. Well, we may have lost the second half of the original recording, but wow. I think this turned out better. Like I knew it would. Right. We didn't get deep into the philosophy of life and all that, but hey, what we got. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
What we got is was unnecessary and gratuitous. Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna find a corner to cry in now.
Don't bring any gas with you. I'll be there, burning things. Unga bunga.
Goodbye, everybody. Give me that hat. Fuck you. I'm gonna throw up into this hat.